And I guess the first thing I'm going to have to say is, ladies and gentlemen, well, and gentlemen and gentlemen and gentlemen. I guess I'm the only lady in that town right now. Well, welcome to this latest installment of Poetic License. It is super groovy cool to see each and every one of you. I will show off my signs, which it's probably next to impossible to see through this, but you know, oh well, there you have it. Hi, Poetic License, yay. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope the weather is improving for everyone wherever you may be. I have to thank our Zoom host, John F. McMillan, because without him, I would not be having this going on, because this used to be at an Austin Recycled Reads at a bookstore, and that was all well and good. It was fun to do that, but it's nice that I can have people from around the country and on the other side of the planet here sharing the open mic with me, which I think, yeah, I'm like, thumbs up, that's really awesome. Really, really awesome to hear. We'll go through round robin readings, and for people who do know me, I always start with reading things from the most recent issue of cc&d magazine, named after some piece of accepted writing within it. This one is called Claustrophobia. Claustrophobia. I'm trying to remember if Tom Woodruff has one of his yes or no poems in it. Did you get an email about this, Tom?
I got an email that yes, I'm included somehow.
Yeah, I found one of your things to be able to put in there because we have so many of them. But this is Claustrophobia, and he would also recognize that this is a trash can that's just been covered and then sealed shut from Hope Gallery, which was the graffiti grounds in Austin for years. And so I was like, I'm going to look for it.
Outside there.
And we did it one year from the Poetry Bound. We went and read there, and you were just like ripping and using spray paint. It was great. It was just great. I loved it. But I was going to share with you 3 things that appear inside of this one. For those of you who know, because I would have somebody that would send writing that would be after periodic table elements. I'm going to do one piece in this collection that is for a periodic table element. It's not only in Claustrophobia, but it's also in the Scarce Publications book, The Periodic Table of Poetry. The only thing I'm going to say about it, other than it was done in 2015, so they didn't all have their names yet, but the price for it is $11.18 because it is for elements 1 through 118 in the periodic table. So that's all I'm going to say about it right now. But this first poem that I'm going to share with you from it is titled Rubidium, which is, like anybody cares, number 37 in the periodic table, RB. This is Rubidium. You tell me you want to be the hand that pulls me from the burning building, but you caused that fire. They try to put it out with water, but you turn it into hydrogen gas. You give everything more heat, and the fire only spreads. For every time I try to be rescued, you turn your back. You claim you have more work to do. So I will rescue myself this time again, and I will wonder if I should stop trying and allow myself to perish in the flames. Now all I have to do is sit and wait for another disaster to consume me. I'll wait for you to do your work. Sitting and waiting is exactly what I'll do. You fascinate me with your fireworks. You think, oh, what a pretty purple color. She'll like that. But I was never fond of that color, and I hate the damage you can cause. When things get hot, it seems you melt just above my own body temperature. How can I survive with you like this? My love for you is the deepest red, but why do you tell me one thing and do another? You really charge me when we're together, but why do you run away when I need you most? I'm stepping over the wooden beams now as the flames are all around me. Here, look at the blood dripping from my arms. Here, smell my flesh burning. This is what you do. You have been so volatile recently when you seem to react to everything I ever do, even if it's in an effort to save us. So, let me burn. Can't it be easier for me to just perish? I try, and every time at the last minute, my figure steps over the charred remains to save me. If only you wouldn't create the burning. If only you would exist for more than destruction. Even if it was only for purple fireworks, or conducting electricity, or cooling lasers, giving power to batteries or outer space energy. But I'm afraid to be with you anymore, because you'll even spontaneously ignite in the air. I know our past. I know I can absorb you into me, but I only know now that you serve no purpose for me. So, after all this time, I only wonder if I could feel safe with you, even just once. Rubidium. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was that book installment. That's my periodic table poem installment on this run. But the second poem I was going to read from this as I turn the pages is a book that I also in another language. You can't even see it in this thing, but you can see the little icon of the book. Hey, I could show you the actual book. It's a short one, and it is called Domestic Violence in America, Nashville, Tennessee. And it's a nose one, and it's also in Shattering the Glass Ceiling, which was released in Women's History Month last year. And as I said, it's in another language, which will mean nothing to you because you don't know it in Slovak. Haha, but there it is. Anyway, this is Domestic Violence in America, Nashville, Tennessee. Nose. Short. I've had my cheekbone and nose reconstructed twice. We're divorced now, but he still keeps calling me. He keeps denying it in courts. Short. But as I said, I'll do 3 in the first round, and it was just released. That was that Shattering the Glass Ceiling is a cyberwit book, and they have just released during Women's History Month this month the book Testament, which I haven't even gotten a copy of, but I have the cover. Ta-da, Testament. It was just released toward the end of March. It has 4 different sections. The first one is all post-Roe v. Wade poetry. And, oh my gosh, Tom, you've heard this one, because I read this poem at Kickbutt a long time ago.
Yep.
So
It's all right.
that's one I haven't shared it here, so I'm going to share it with you guys now. This is called Only Pose What I Know. Journalism blood runs through my veins. Bits of information come streaming to me. First instinct is to learn the entire truth, then see how all the pieces fit together. Seeing a stack of states surprisingly high that already had trigger laws to further suppress women's rights if Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, seeing the swath of southern states made something click in my head. Time to look up Bible Belt states, and the numbers matched up too close, too perfectly. But then, the more I thought crossed my mind, well, which states by the Civil War supported slavery? Now, this sounds harder to research since at our country's founding, presidents had slaves. Their states as being 3/5 of a human being was written into our very own Constitution. But find info on the Civil War that started in 1861, and what do you know? Any correlations abound. If you wanted to place pictures of the United States by color of these states, the color would be so saturated, it's blinding. Now, as I said, I've got journalism coursing through my veins, and I may not have the time to research this enough to write a doctoral paper on the matter, but I'm just trying to see how the pieces fit together, and boy, do they ever. Is this more evidence that those who continue to believe that blacks were slaves come from the same regions that socially conservative Christians thrive? Now it's trying to bring the story around to demoting women by overturning Roe v. Wade, loved by these same states. No, I may not have proof. I'm no Dixon Hill or Sherlock Holmes, but now that I mention it, I believe Sherlock Holmes was known to say that whether in inductive or deductive reasoning, eliminate all other factors, and the one which remains must be the truth. So, as a journalist, It's not my job to tell you what to think. I only pose what I know, and you can decide. Bing. I only post journalism Janet here. And it's funny, I'm a news editorial journalism major from school, but and it was graphic design I chose to go into. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tolerating me on that one for you guys. Yay! You guys are triple plus awesome. I will read off orders for people. I will say the order right now. I will always say who is next and the poet following so that they can get prepared as well. Zoom host, but of course, is always following me, John F. McMullen. Then there will be Jim, then the Generalissimo himself, Brian, Tom, and then Richard Kent. So that means John F. McMullen, I would love to hear material from you, and then Jim, know that you will be following after him.
How many are we doing in this round?
Let's do 3. Yeah, I mean, it seems to work when we do 2 rounds of 3 for us, and if somebody wants to do less or whatever, or short ones or whatever. It's all yours.
I have put in